Hey everybody, Mark over here at Twanger's Turntable. This is probably a record for me. I don't know if I've ever posted this many videos in a weekend, but here I am. And this one was something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. It's for Christian over at CGC Vinyl. I don't know if you can see his page in the background there. I've got it pulled up, but it's just on my TV app. So I tried to make the settings so that you may be able to see it. But anyway, just go over to his page. It's CGC Vinyl, Christian. He's got a contest going. Actually, I don't even know if it's a contest or a thread, just in recognition of his 1 year in the VC, in the vinyl community on YouTube. I think it comes up in March. So I want to support Christian. I've been on his sub list, or I've subbed him, I think, almost from the get-go. In fact, one of the first contests I ever did, I think, was for Christian on his channel, when he was CGC the Vinyl Guy. Now he's just CGC Vinyl. So I guess the gist of the contest, I'll see if I get this right. The criteria is for 1 year, 365, 3 of one genre, 6 of another genre, and 5 of a third genre. So he did an example of 3 jazz, 6 metal, and 5 British Invasion. Yeah, I believe that was the criteria. I hope I got that right, because that's what I'm going with. So just go over and support Christian. That's what this is all about. So I'm going to start with my 3, and it is 3 of the new wave genre. I want to do one of these genres. I want to do punk, but I don't have a lot of punk as I'm looking at it. And I'm going by the criteria on Discogs. So I'm certainly not the gatekeeper of what bands fall into what genre. So I don't know. I'm just winging it in that regard. And I don't have a lot that classify as punk. A lot of it seems to be post-punk. I've got like Killing Joke. I mean, I've got The Clash. That's obviously punk. I just picked up one, DMZ. They're classified as punk, garage rock. But I don't have a lot of true punk. I don't have any Black Flag or DOA or anything. On vinyl, I should say on vinyl. That's what I mean when I say I don't have it. I have a lot of that stuff on other formats, but I digress. So this is vinyl. So as far as the new wave goes, first one I've got is a band called Japan. And this one is Obscure Alternatives. And it is a pretty obscure alternative. I think they did have some moderate success in the early 80s. That's new wave entry number 1. One of my favorites. Did my TV just go to sleep there? I think it did. There we go. Just want to make that clear. One of my favorites out of that era, new wave, is Two Boy Army, and of course Gary Newman. Love this album. This is possibly my favorite. Not that I don't like his other stuff and the debut from Two Boy Army. I wish I had that one. It's a premium to get that, at least an OG. And then I'm not sure if they're that, no, easy for me to say. I'm not so sure that really matters to me, whether it's OG or not. There's a lot of debate around that. I'm not sure it matters so much on my system. Like further to that, I don't have a audiophile quality setup. So, but I digress again. This would be entry number 2 for the new wave, Gary Newman, Two Boy Army. Third, but certainly not least, this is one of my faves out of that genre. And certainly many influences, including punk for this band. But I think that is a contentious topic for true punk people that are, but the Police. And this is probably my favorite one, either this one or their debut. I don't know. Sometimes I go back and forth. But Zenyatta Mondatta is a great album. I just love Stuart Copeland. He's one of my favorite drummers. So, and just to clarify, I don't consider Police punk by any means. But I know that's maybe some of their roots is in that and reggae. There's reggae influences and just a great album in the new wave genre, as they're listed as new wave. The next, that's 3. So the next would be 6, and I've chosen 6 not so much as a genre as a a region. So I've been in Canada. I chose 6 artists that are from Canada. So I'm going to start by one even more personal. Not that I was really into them at that time, but not only from Canada, but from my home province of Prince Edward Island, a band from Charlottetown, and that's Haywire. I think this was their second album. I wouldn't know. I'm not an authority on that. It's called Bad Boys. I wasn't into them at all, although I do have a memory with my buddies. A bunch of us went up to see them at the Mill River Resort back in, well, I don't even know when that was, 85, somewhere in there. So we did see them live. But yeah, they're from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, my home province. I didn't live in Charlottetown, just a village on PEI. So that's number 1 in that category of Canadian rock. Next would be the Romantics in Heat. Of course, this is probably best known for, got to put my cheaters on. What would be the big hit on here? See, not my wheelhouse here. Cheating a little bit. Oh yeah, Talking in Your Sleep, of course. Yes, I Hear Secrets That You Keep. So that would be number 2 in the Canadian albums or artists. Third would be Street Heart. Great Canadian rock. Kind of classic rock, borderline hard rock. Some of their stuff, just good straightforward rock. Next up, probably right up there as one of my favorite Canadian artists. And sadly, their lead vocalist passed away a couple of years ago here of a brain tumor, cancer. But that's Gord Downie and Tragically Hip. Great band. I don't know if they got a lot of traction anywhere else in the globe, but maybe a little bit down the States for a period of time. I know they were on, was it Saturday Night Live? No, I think they appeared on, it might have been Saturday Night Live. I don't know. It was probably back in 96, 94, somewhere in that time frame. But great Canadian rock. If you've not checked them out, definitely worthwhile. Up to Here, the one that came after this, was a fantastic album. Fully, completely. Road Apples, all of them, all of their early stuff. In fact, their whole catalog, some would argue, is just top notch. Next up, one of my favorites, hard rock bands in Canada here, and probably one of my all-time favorite. Hard to say. That varies, but certainly Triumph, great Canadian rock band, which actually did get a lot of traction down in the States. I think they appeared at the Farm Aid, was it, in '84? One of those big shows back in, and that's where they really broke in the U.S. But great band, Rick Emmett, Gilmore, one of my favorite drummers as well. And then just going back to really early, when I was probably maybe 11, 12, when I first heard these guys. My older brother had their debut album. This is not their debut, although I do have that. But a band out of Toronto. It is Toronto. Head On. Holly Woods was the lead vocalist, so they did release some material later, I think, that was called Holly Woods in Toronto. But I like their first 3 particularly, Looking for Trouble, Head On, and Get It On Credit. After that, doesn't hold up for me personally, but good stuff. So that's my 6 Canadian artists. So that would be the second criteria, I believe. And the 5th one, I did go with one of the Christian suggestions, and I just went metal. Some of these, some viewers out there, you may be sick of seeing some of these because they do appear a lot in the VC, but they're just some of my favorites. I tried to mix up a little with stuff that maybe isn't seen quite so often, but certainly this one would fit the bill as one that appears a lot, and it's probably right up there as one of my favorite by this artist, and it's Black Sabbath, Master Reality. Love this one. And I won't go on about too much in detail about these. We'll just get through them. That's number 1 from my 5. Next one is Sabotage and Power of the Night. Really great album as well. Great band. Came to an end much too soon due to a death in the band, but we won't get into that. Saxon, Denim and Leather. This is their debut. Really good. I think they really got going with Power and Glory. They had a new drummer in that one, but still good. This came out on that colored vinyl reissue a few years ago, I guess it was. I don't recall, but Really good album. Love Saxon. And one of my favorite by these guys, Stained Class, Judas Priest. Such a great album. They have so many that I could say are great, though. But I chose this one just because I don't see it nearly as much as, say, the Screaming for Vengeance or British Steel, Hellbent for Leather, or Killing Machine, as it were known elsewhere. But Stained Class, even Sad Wings of Destiny, a lot of people show that one. So just trying to mix it up a little bit. That's number 4, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, indeed. And then one that's maybe a little more modern in the metal genre, and it's System of a Down, Mesmerize. My wife really likes these guys. I like them too, but she certainly, I could have picked, I just wanted to go with something more modern. I could have picked Tool or Rage Against the Machine or something. And I'm saying those are more modern, but they are to me. I mean, it's probably, this one I think is 2005 or 6. It's going back quite a ways now, so that's a long time ago already. But anyway, that's mine, 365, to support your contest, your thread, whatever it is, Christian. Congratulations again on a year. I remember entering that contest pretty early on and subbed you up. And I've enjoyed many of your videos. I hope to continue to do so. And go over and sub him up if you've not, people, and check out some of his content. Support the VC, this wonderful thing. And I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I do appreciate all of you and your support that you provide for me as well. And I'll see you here next time at Twanger's Turntable. Take care, everyone. Cheers.